Huh? Help you with something?
That island in the lake, that's the Creators Guild, isn't it?
Yeah? Why you asking?
It might be the distance, but it looked a lot more populated when I was last there.
That's because after your father's war, a lot of the Creators' mages left. They were afraid of being out in the open, so to speak.
Why? The Creators Guild didn't participate in the war, did it? Same as Everlight.
Yeah, but that didn't stop the common folk and the refugees who came here from blaming them. There were even attacks on the guild.
Well, not all the common folk, as you call it, took part in them. I know the Creators' mages haven't ever done anything foul. What happened during that attack was a bloody tragedy. The mayor saw that the people who did it were put on the gallows.
I want to cross over there. How much will that cost?
25 gold. And no haggling.
As a neutral, apolitical association of mages solely devoted to the study of magic, the members of the Creators Guild were among the few gifted that remained neutral during your father's war. Though not comparable to the great universities of Kalaya, it is safe to say that Fiara owes many of its magical and technological advancements to them.
Here we are. Impressive.
And there's people down the hall. We should...
Interesting. We do not get visitors often these times.
Who are you?
I'm Undergast. I suppose you could call me the head of the guild. I sensed someone was coming and that someone had an intriguing aura. Now I know who it is. You are Isamo Tahar's child, are you not?
How do you know?
Well, I have studied Isamo Tahar's magic quite extensively, especially since the end of the Mage Wars. He was a remarkable man. Yours and his magical aura have a lot of similarities.
A remarkable man?
Yes.
Does that mean you supported him?
No, that is not what I said. I merely stated that he, as a mage and a man, was remarkable, unusual or special, and therefore surprising or worth mentioning. My opinion on the war is an entirely different matter.
How are our auras similar?
Well, hard to say. You can simply tell that you're related. And there's something else about you that is, well, strange.
I get that a lot. Could you elaborate?
It is hard to say. There's something peculiar about you. An oddity in your aura which I cannot make sense of. I'm sorry. Either way, I assume you are here for a reason. How may we, the little that is left of us, help you?
I was wondering if you could tell me more about the Creators Guild.
Maybe I should begin with the question, what do you know about us already?
I know that you are a neutral association of mages that didn't participate in the Mage Wars. That's about it.
Well, and that is about the core of our guild. We are mages devoted to study, science, and the preservation of knowledge, and we do not involve ourselves in political conflict. We were founded in the year 231 by a woman named Gadith Bowdry. Ever since, the Creators Guild has been a constant in the ever-changing political landscape of Northander.
So you are the leader of the guild?
Well, I do not see myself as such, but yes, the majority of the guild considers me its leader.
The ferryman told me about an attack on the guild after the Mage Wars. He said it was the reason that there are so few mages left on the island. Is that true?
Yes, but it was not just the attack. There was also an internal disagreement.
That attack, how did it end? Am I right to assume you stopped it?
Of course. They were trying to kill us, so we fought back and killed them instead. At least until their morale was broken. Looking back, I think that this display of power was something we should have done earlier. Only because we were peaceful, the people who attacked us assumed that we were defenseless. They will not make the same mistake again.
That's a very dry way of seeing it.
If by dry you mean that it lacks the emotional aspect most people would add to a statement like this, then yes, I suppose it is. But again, it was not only the attack that diminished our numbers, but also a disagreement we had within the guild.
What kind of disagreement?
I would prefer not to talk about it. I am sorry.
Actually, we're here for a reason. We're investigating the Bloodburn. Is there anything you or your guild knows about it?
The Bloodburn? You're studying it?
I guess you could say that, yes.
Interesting. No, we do not know more about it than most alchemists or apothecaries at this point, though our general consensus is that we doubt the corporeal origin of the plague. There is magic involved in it.
Well, you're right about that. It's magical, and it's connected to the Shapers.
The Tsarlanth, that's interesting. Say, would you mind to tell me more? You seem to know a lot of variables which we are not aware of yet.
I'll tell you. but we should find somewhere to sit. It's a long story.
Of course. Well, this is both fascinating and peculiar.
What do you make of it?
I do not believe in visions and prophecy, unless they come from a dreamweaver, so I'm uncertain. There is no arguing that this man Rondar Lacane knew more about the Bloodburn than most people. And his clues led you to Mullendeer, which is nothing short of impressive. So you believe that the Bloodburn is caused by Shaper telepathy. Is that correct?
It is a theory, but yeah, rogue telepathy, so to speak.
I see. I would like to come with you.
What?
I was clear, was I not? I would like to come with you. Your story is nothing short of fascinating. The Shaper City, the Bloodburn, and this Nexus. I would like to accompany you and help. I have a wide knowledge of the magic and the Shapers, and have a strong interest in finding a cure for the Bloodburn.
What about the guild? Aren't you their leader?
I am, but that does not bind me to stay. It is common for creators' mages to head out to expeditions. They have become rarer due to the war, but still, there is nothing stopping me from coming back when our business is concluded.
Well, why not? Just know that it will be dangerous.
I can defend myself. Quite well, in fact. However, there is one thing I need to finish before I come with you. Study. Maybe you could help. This would facilitate matters.
As long as it doesn't take too much time, yes. What are you studying?
Simple. I have always been fascinated by the notion of sentience and the mind in general. What creates consciousness? What is it that distinguishes us as humans from a wolf who is slave to his instincts? Quite recently, a group of refugees who arrived in Everlight told me of a bizarre sight. They said that a stone golem took over the abandoned mine near the gates and has grown a soul, and apparently has been trading with the villagers and even befriended one of them. It all seems highly unlikely, but I want to investigate it.
A monster with a soul? How is that even possible?
I do not know. It is not the first time people have reported such occurrences, but most of the times they turned out to be a hoax. This is the first case I've heard that might be legitimate. If it's true, this might change the world forever. Can you imagine? The ramifications of such a discovery would be monumental. It is currently believed that only the 5 principal kinds are capable of conscious thought. Disproving that would change everything. Suddenly, would killing a monster not be a homicidal act? Would putting them in a cage not be considered slavery? And finally, is it right for the principal kinds to consider themselves special, chosen by the Guardians?
What do you need my help with?
Well, this is all an exciting scholarly prospect, but a golem is still a golem. So if the monster goes feral, I will require assistance. I can defend myself, but still it would be unwise to go there alone. I will get prepared and meet you at the mine. Do you know where it is?
Tell me.
Up north, at the top of the Iskander mountain. I will go as soon as possible.
Fair enough. I'll see you there.
Nowadays, few people remember the reason for Everlight's wealth: the glittering mine. For a long time, it was believed that moonsilver, the most precious and most durable ore of Io, could only be mined in the Windwall Mountains, the empire of the dwarves. All this changed when an unsuspecting farmer found a piece of the shimmering ore while digging a well. A gold rush followed, and Everlight, back then a modest town, grew into the metropolis it is today. The mine was depleted decades ago, but the wealth remained.
Ah, it is you.
Didn't you say in front of the mine?
I did, but then I realized that it might be wise to scout ahead in order to get a clearer picture of the situation. Come, let us go. The golem and its supposed friend should be further down the mine. Follow me.
Greetings. Are you...
Rick, who are they? I'm afraid.
Don't worry, Hubert. They are not here to hurt you. Judging by the sounds of fighting we heard, I take it you took care of those undead. If so, you have my thanks. They appeared out of nowhere just a couple of days ago and locked us in.
They are dead. We're here to ask you some questions about your friend.
I figured. So I'm guessing you heard the rumors, right? Yes, this is the golem with a soul. And yes, I am the odd fellow protecting him. But before I tell you anything, promise me that you won't hurt him.
I know he might look intimidating, but he's actually quite sensitive.
I promise.
Good. That's good.
So, what do you want to know? You didn't come here to take him away, did you?
Hubert is a stone golem. Why didn't you kill these undead yourselves if they trapped you?
Kill? Hubert? I told you he couldn't hurt a fly. He doesn't look it, but in his head, he's just like a child.
Why Hubert?
It was my grandfather's name. And one day, I simply started calling Hubert that, and it stuck.
How did you come to know Hubert? I mean, you don't just come up to a golem and start a conversation.
Right. You don't. I found him laying half dead just outside this mine. Some creature drained him of his essence, a ghost or something.
Darkness came and stole my light. It hurt. It hurt so bad.
I know, Hubert, but it's over now.
For some reason, I immediately noticed that Hubert was different. In every other situation, I would have simply turned away and alarmed the guard, but I just couldn't. So I went into the city to find a mage.
Who? Joseph. His name was Joseph.
He is not with the Creators Guild. And this Joseph agreed to help you.
Well, he still owed me a favor, so... Yes, I asked him to heal Hubert. And even though he told me it was dangerous, he eventually did it. When it was done, he told me to get away as soon as possible, as it might wake up again soon. But just like when I had first seen him there, I simply knew that there was something in him. Something that made him more than just a construct. So I waited, and it turned out I was right. You can figure out the rest. I took him into the mine, as the Everlight guards would have attacked him on sight. And here, we became friends.
So you took him into the cave to protect him?
Yes. Of course, word eventually got through to the townsfolk. But you're the first to follow up on the rumors.
And before these undead woke up, this place was actually quite peaceful. A bit gloomy, yes, but safe. And that's what matters.
How long ago is it that you found him?
Let me think. Almost 4 moons now.
How did you become friends, though?
Rick, friendly. Rick, always friendly. Rick, care for me.
Well, maybe friendship isn't the proper word for it. It's more like I care for him, the way a father cares for a child. And yes, I know how funny that sounds considering Hubert's size.
Hubert, what makes you different from other golems? When did you realize you can think for yourself?
I don't know. I always had thoughts, always had ideas, but I did not know how to tell people about them. After the ghost attacked me and Rick healed me, he taught me how to speak.
Taught?
Yes. Yes, of course. Rick taught me how to speak.
Hubert is a very good student. He learned how to speak almost fluently in just a couple of months. If only men were half as eager to learn, maybe we wouldn't be in this mess we find ourselves in.
He could also carry the spirit of a person in him. Did you ever think of that?
If so, it was the spirit of an infant. As I said, all I did was offer Hubert guidance and, well, love.
What are your plans for Hubert? Neither he nor you can stay in this cave forever.
Honestly, I don't know. Hubert is such a good lad, and I want him to have a normal, happy life. As bizarre as that sounds when talking about a golem. He would love to make friends and...
Yes, friends. Rick, will these misters be my new friends?
Hubert, what did we say about interrupting other people when they're talking?
It's rude. And it makes people sad.
Do you want me to be sad, Hubert?
No, Rick. I'm sorry.
Apology accepted. Just don't do that again.
Anyway, I try not to think about it. And until you showed up and killed those undead, I wasn't even sure we'd ever make it out of that cave again.
All right, look. My friend here would like to learn more about Hubert's uniqueness. It would be of great scientific value. Would it be possible for us to examine him?
I don't know. Will it harm him?
Golems were created to endure pain.
What my friend is trying to say is, he will do everything he can to keep Hubert comfortable.
What do you think, Hubert?
I don't know.
Fine. If you think it will help us understand Hubert better, then I don't want to be an obstacle. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Then let us begin. Interesting. Truly interesting. Hubert, I am done. You can rest now.
It wasn't bad, Rick. It tickled a little, but it didn't hurt.
So, what did you find out?
Not much. But let me discuss it with my companion first. Tahar, if you please.
Where is the kind sir going, Rick? I liked him.
They're just going to have a talk. They'll come back.
So let me be brief. I inspected Hubert's magical core, and it is rather unusual. It's overflowing with magical essence, unlike anything I've ever seen. My theory is that his remarkable intelligence comes from this irregularity. Unfortunately, I believe that the very same irregularity is also dangerous. The essence within him seems unstable.
It is very likely that it will eventually get out of control and cause an explosion unlike anything this land has ever seen. To me, it appears we have two options. We can destroy the golem, or take it back to the guild and try to harness its power, with the chance to stabilize the core and allow it to live.
I do not think I should make that choice. I consider myself a rational person, but I'm afraid that my fascination with the matter clouds my judgment.
Couldn't we just take him somewhere secluded and leave him be?
I'm afraid that's out of the question. We just don't know what the long-term effect of this instability would be. He could, for example, become feral and use his incredible power to wipe out a city or two. Killing him is the merciful option if his welfare is your primary concern.
What do you mean by harness his power?
Well, the possibilities are endless. If we can replicate the structure of its core and stabilize it, it has the potential to change the world. We might even be able to recreate it, thus giving us a power source with the chance to recreate life.
Obviously, there is no guarantee these experiments will bear fruit. We would also be risking blowing Everlight to smithereens in the process.
If I had to make a guess, I would say that there is a 40% chance that the golem will be stabilized and we will be able to harness the core. A 40% chance that it will die in perceived agony, and a 20% chance of triggering the devastating explosion.
That's a tough decision. Let me talk to Rick.
Of course.
So, what did you and your friend talk about?
Well, there's no good way to say this. Hubert's magic core is very unusual. It is overflowing with energy, and while this energy is what makes him sentient, it also makes him dangerous. If we let Hubert stay here, the core might eventually become unstable and explode.
The only way to save him is to take him to the Creators Guild, where they can try to control his power. Thing is, it might be a painful experience for Hubert.
I'm sorry, but it's the only way. The alternative would be to kill him.
You bloody monster! No! There's no way I'm letting you do this! He's a person, damn it, not some toy for some mages to tinker with! You'll have to kill me first!
Rick, you're outnumbered, and I'm offering you and Hubert a chance. Don't you see it? You can either die here like a fool, or you can make sure Hubert gets through the entire ordeal together with you.
Well, I guess you're right, aren't you? I don't have a chance against you all. But let me say this. If I learn that anything happens to Hubert, I will come and hunt you down, even if it costs my life.
Hubert, it's time to go. We're moving into a new home.
What? I'm going to see the outside again? Just how you promised.
Yes, just how I promised.
Well, I must say that I'm happy you made that decision. I will go back to the guild now and prepare my things for our journey as discussed. I will see you there.
Yes? Do I know you?
Greetings, milady. Could you spare a moment? I'm here to discuss an urgent matter.
We're really doing this, aren't we? Ellen, help us.
Sure. What is it?
Well, even a battle-hardened warrior such as myself could not help but notice your astounding beauty. All those years I've shed blood for the Queen and my country, but the battles changed me. I started to question the purpose of my sacrifices. I began to lose my resolve. There is honor in a battle, yes, but is honor alone enough to keep a man going? It is not. We all need something to fight for, something to return to when the ordeals of battle are over, especially in times of darkness. It is hard not to lose oneself without a glimmer of hope. You, fair lady, are my glimmer. No, do not misunderstand. I am a soldier, and it was never my purpose to find lasting love. But your beauty reminds me that there are things worth fighting for.
I don't know what to say.
Say nothing, fair lady. I know my passion is overwhelming. All I ask for is a strand of your golden hair to remember you by. I shall like to have it with me whenever I venture into battle, to shed blood for my country, for honor, and for the beauty of this world.
I understand. Yes, of course, honorable soldier. Who am I to deny you such a simple request? After all, it is you who is keeping us simple people safe, isn't it?
We are only doing our duty.
Such virtue. Here, take it. Will you... will I find you in Everlight more often?
You may, or you may not. But I will do all in my power to see you whenever possible. Goodbye, fair lady.
Goodbye.
Okay, let's just forget this ever happened, all right?
Ah, there you are. In case you were wondering, I sent 2 mages to help Richard and Hubert find their way to the guild. It will be a marvelous opportunity to deepen our knowledge on magic. I'm still fascinated by the idea that an abundance of magic is able to create sentience. Just think of what that entails. Either way, I am ready to join you. I need to take care of some formalities first, but I'm ready to depart before next dawn. Where shall we meet? According to your story, the Shaper City is in the middle of Iskander, is it not?
Yes, near a village called Farland's Hope. But you can just meet us on the border of Everlight, and we'll take you there together.
Then that is what I will do. Thank you, Tahar. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Saved by a paleskin. I didn't expect that. If it wasn't for you, I'd be on some human's dinner plate by tonight. Thank you, friend. My name is Kier, of the Dustcrawler tribe.
My pleasure. What do you mean, on some human's dinner plate?
Well, it's a bit disturbing. Shortly put, there's a gang of human criminals who capture and butcher orcs and sell their meat as wyvern meat. It looks almost the same, so nobody can tell.
What the... Are you joking?
If I were, would I be sitting in a cage and be covered in blood? No, I'm not. I know how absurd it sounds, but apparently these paleskins make a ton of money that way.
And nobody notices the difference? Really?
Well, I've never eaten my own kin. It's bloody disgusting, and I want to think about it as little as possible.
Huh. And how did a Dustcrawler orc end up here in Everlight?
I was trying to put an end to this.
So you're some kind of orc detective?
Oh my, how that sounds. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm a Kalzul, an architect.
Orcs have architects?
Yes, how do you think our cows are constructed? And of course, now you're asking yourself how an orcish architect ended up on a mission like this. Don't. It's complicated.
Tell me.
No, none of your business.
We could help you.
Why? What is it to you?
I just want to help.
I don't trust people who just want to help. Especially if it means putting themselves in a lot of danger.
Well, let me put it this way. This country has enough troubles already. Especially when it comes to political tensions. No need to add an orc-murdering gang to the list of our problems.
Makes sense. Fine then. I hope I won't regret this. If you want to help, we need to pick up where I left off. Evidence.
So you're trying to get the Everlight Guard to deal with it?
Yes. I'm just one orc, and even if I knew where their hideout was, I can't just run in there swinging my axe around like a maniac and expecting not to die a fool's death. I don't trust these guards. But as of now, they seem to be my only chance.
True. Do you have any idea where we could start looking for evidence?
Actually, yes. I managed to intercept correspondence between one of their thugs and the leader. It should be enough to convince the guards of their presence. However, the thugs took all of my belongings when they ambushed me. Makes sense, I guess. An orc headed for a slaughterhouse doesn't need his books and valuables with him. I say we go right. Foul rack! Bloody wound.
No offense, but I don't think you should join us just now. Maybe later.
I'm afraid that's true. Let us get your possessions for you.
Fine. I'm no good to anyone dead, am I? I think I heard them talk about some camp near the old mines. Maybe you could start there.
Oh, you're back. So I take it you found everything. The fever's gotten a bit worse while you were gone, so you came just in time.
Rosie,
Shh, Georgie, I'm here. The kind soldier brought the herbs for Holy Frank's medicine. You'll be better before the morrow.
This isn't a fever, Tahar. This man has the blood burn. That quack's potion will do as little good as a drop of virgin's blood.
Blazes. You were right.
What? Did you say something?
Rahazia, your husband is ill. Why is he even outside?
Getting fresh air. Ever thought of that? Holy Frank said that there's no better cure than the smell of fresh grass in your nostrils and the warmth of sun on your face. And if Holy Frank says it, then it's true. It must be.
Rahazia, there's no good way to say this, but this elixir won't help. Your husband has the blood burn, and there's no cure to remedy that, especially not from some faith healer. You need to take your husband to a doctor as soon as possible.
Bloodburn? You mean that plague? No, that's not possible. Holy Frank said it was just the cramps, the weather. It's been scorching lately.
Tiara's breath, Rahazia. Just take a look at him. He's already started to form blisters.
But no, No, you're a liar. I should have known it when I first saw you. Now get out of here! I don't ever want to see your face again! Get out of my fucking sight! The elixir will help, for heck's sake! It will help. And Georgie will be fine. You hear me? He will be fine!
Wow, that could have gone better.
People believe what they want to believe. We should still inform the Everlight mayor about this, though. Yeah, I know. The bloodburn isn't contagious, but the doctors might learn from this.
I guess. Blasted plague. Wherever it comes from, it needs to stop.
If it isn't the pariah. I didn't expect you back so soon. What do you need?
I'm here because I came across a victim of the bloodburn. One of the farmers in the outskirts seems to exhibit symptoms of late-stage bloodburn. I think it's best if your men look into that.
Bloodburn. I see. Thank you for reporting this to me. Learning more about this blasted disease is a difficult task. If more people were so quick to report the cases, we'd surely know more about it by now. Here's a small token of gratitude for your diligence. Thank you.
You're welcome. There we go. That must be the letter Kier mentioned, alongside the rest of his things.
We might want to try interrogating one of these thugs. They could give us even more information to go on.
Yeah, good idea.
No, please, mercy. I don't want to die.
Then you better talk. We want information on your syndicate.
Yes, of course. What do you want to know?
How did you end up like this? You don't look like an average cutthroat.
Because I'm not. I'm from the Mud District, and I spent years looking for work. But it's become almost impossible to find a good job as a fellow from the slums. Then that man Finn showed up in the Shangiga, and, well, the pay was good. And it took me a while until I realized that it wasn't Wyvern meat we were selling.
How did this all start? Who in blazes came up with the idea of murdering orcs and selling their meat?
I don't know.
Really?
Yes, really. I only joined the farm a few months ago, and nobody ever told me who came up with it. All I know is that we have to report to a man called the Butcher who runs the slaughterhouse in Everlight. But I never saw him in person.
Where are your headquarters?
You mean the slaughterhouse? Please,
I can't tell you. They will kill me if I do.
That does sound painful.
No, please! It's in Everlight. Below Everlight, to be precise. You have a map, don't you? Here. That's where the entrance is. All the meat is processed there. And it's run by the butcher. Our leader.
Anything else?
No, I don't... Wait, yes! The countersign! You need to remember the countersign. You need to answer, "I'm here for the produce," when they ask you, "What's your business?"
I'm here for the produce. All right. Now, what should I do with you?
What? But you said you'd spare me.
Get out of my sight. But if I ever see you working with these cutthroats again, I won't be so lenient.
Yes, of course. I was done with this life anyway. Goodbye, soldier. And thank you for your mercy.
Just so you know, I think that was the right choice. That fellow really meant what he said. He had no idea what he was getting into.
I know. Come, let's go back to Kier.
Look at that. My pale-skinned friends return. Had any luck?
I think so. Are these your things?
Let me see. Yes, they are. I have to say, I'm surprised. My experience with pale-skin so far has been that you talk a lot and act very little.
Listen, there's no guarantee the guard will take down the Syndicate, even if we provide them with the evidence. I actually convinced one of their thugs to tell me the location of their hideout. They call it the Slaughterhouse. And apparently that's also where we could find their leader, the Butcher.
Butcher. Pathetic. But what are you suggesting? That we storm that place all by ourselves? That's suicide.
We're all mages and know how to defend ourselves. And they won't be expecting us. I think we stand a chance.
A bold plan. But I like it. Fine, let's take care of this ourselves. Where is that hideout?
In the middle of Everlight. Just meet me there.
Understood. Ah, and here. I think you should have this. You deserve it more than I do. So far, I haven't done much more than getting thrown into a cage. I'll meet you in Everlight. May your blood never boil. Ah, there you are. So, where is that slaughterhouse?
I'll show you. Follow me.
Okay, I've been thinking. It's probably best if we try to maintain cover as long as possible. The sooner we start the killing, the more likely it is that their leader will get away.
What do you suggest then?
Simple. Tell the guards that I'm your prisoner, and that you brought me to the hideout for slaughter. If we do it right, then we might be able to get to the Butcher without raising suspicion.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go. Hello, boys. I brought you something for the Butcher. That's the greenskin who's been sticking his nose into our business.
Ah, right. That one. Why haven't you killed him yet?
Because I thought the boss would want to have a word with him.
Aye. I guess he would. So, what's your business?
I'm here for the produce.
Great. Come on in then. And make that fucking animal suffer, will you?
Though Everlight is one of the few Nortandian cities with a multiracial population, non-humans are usually met with hostility and prejudice. While there have not yet been any big outbreaks of violence, it is not unusual to find a robbed and beaten-up elf in the Mud District's alleys. Due to their imposing physique, orcs were targeted less often. Until now.
So, I'm guessing you're the Butcher.
And I'm guessing you're not here for a nice, crispy piece of orc meat, are you? No, don't say anything. I can feel it. You're the one who butchered my people near the mine, aren't you? And you, orc, are the little detective who tried to expose my business. I guess I should thank you for coming. That saves me the trouble of tracking you down.
Balrak. You're an orc.
Well observed, scum.
I don't get it. Why would you do this? Orchestrate a genocide of your own kind?
My kind? The kind that killed my father just because he refused to take part in slaughtering the neighboring clan for the struggle's sake? The kind that banished a little orcish boy and his sister without as much as 1 day's worth of provisions? Fuck my kind. The orcs have treated me and my family like stray dogs, and I'm only returning the favor.
If your clan mistreated you, there are other ways of getting back at them.
Oh, are there? Such as burning a Zarek effigy? Stealing a barrel of beer from them? No. Our culture is as rotten as your corpses will be 2 weeks from now. Every orc who still lives according to this nonsense deserves to die. The more gruesomely, the better.
I've heard enough. This ends here.
With pleasure. Get them, boys. Fresh meat. And it's over. Zarek's fangs. This was madness.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I guess it's best if we forget about this as fast as we can. Either way, I will be forever grateful for what you did for me today. Before you go, please, take this. It's the least I can do after you risked your life for my kind. Also, listen, Tahar. Earlier on, you mentioned something about an army that you command. Was that a metaphor?
It's in the making. Why?
I, was wondering if you'd allow me to join you.
Wait, didn't you say that you're a well-respected architect in your tribe? Why would you want to join me?
Well, I wasn't entirely honest. I'm not just an architect. I'm also the firstborn son of Naris, the High Chieftain of the Dustkin. I don't want to bore you with endless stories, so I'll make it short. My little brother Rak was gifted and destined to be a shaman. And to become a shaman, one needs to pass a trial by Zarek. I had heard talk about it, about how many young orcs die taking it. And the thought of losing my brother, I just couldn't bear it.
So, what did you do?
I kidnapped him. It was foolish, and I got caught a day after we left the cow. My father sent me into exile as a punishment for defying Zarek. All this, me trying to save these orcs from slaughter. Maybe it's my way of repenting for what I've done, but I don't want to talk about it more than I have to. I just can't go back yet.
Well, if you're an architect, your talents might actually come in handy. If you want to join, bring that evidence to the guard, and then join me at the border.
I will do that. Thank you, Tahar. I appreciate it. And I promise I won't be a burden. May your blood never boil. We'll talk later.